Hey guys, welcome back for another video. What we're going to be doing today is we'll be looking at all of our Major League Baseball games we have coming up for Thursday, April 3rd. We're going to completely break down every single matchup and try to predict the outcome. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? And we'll also be looking at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders for every single one of these games, looking at the roster, starting pitching, looking at everything. First things first, though, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments about these games or anything else, by all means, drop them below, and I will make sure to respond to every single one of them. We're going over every game, every day throughout the Major League Baseball season, and we also have all of the off-the-season stuff going on for the NFL as well as college football. If you're a sports fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Baseball, first week is in the books. We're moving on to our second week. Some teams are even moving on to their third series. We only have 5 games today, but it's 5 really good games. So let's get started breaking these games down. The very first one we have is going to be at 1:05 p.m., we're going to have the 2-4 Boston Red Sox versus the 3-3 Baltimore Orioles. This is a AL East on AL East matchups. Last night, the Red Sox won that game 3-0. Even Devers got a couple of hits, first 2 hits of the season. Red Sox got some of the bats going. They had 10 hits in total. They actually have a pretty good lineup. It's just the lineup's been pretty quiet so far this season, but when they wake up, we know that they're going to make some noise. A lot of people had the Boston Red Sox as potential underdogs to win the AL East. Very talented team, very talented roster. They just have to get everything going. And then when you look at Baltimore, very talented lineup, very young lineup. Where they have their Achilles heel is actually going to be on their pitching staff. They don't necessarily have the best starting pitching in the AL East, but at least they have the bats that can carry them there. Right now, you have the Red Sox on the road here. They are the favorites, 1.5 run favorites. The over in here is 9.5. Massive over under there, but Vegas sees a lot of runs being scored. Right now, the Red Sox 44.4% chance to win this game. The Orioles a 55.6% chance to win this game at home. Boston right now, they're averaging 3.2 runs a game, hitting 201, and they're giving up 4.61 runs per game. Baltimore, no issues on offense, they're averaging 6.4 runs per game, hitting 305, also giving up 4.61 points per game. Looking at the pitching we're going to have here. You have Hawk going for the Red Sox. He's a career 3.91 guy. Solid pitcher, not going to give up too many runs, but also not going to throw too many shutout innings. And on the other side, you have the experienced veteran, the ageless wonder, Charlie Morton, going 41 years old right now. He comes into this game with a 2.4 ERA. For his career, he's had some really good seasons. He's had some bad ones, but overall, a very consistent pitcher. So this is the younger pitcher versus the grizzly veteran. One of those type of games that could honestly go either way. When I'm looking at this outcome, it's kind of a hard one to pick, but I'm actually going to go with the Orioles getting the upset win here. So we're going with the plus 1.5, and I'm going to go with the under. And the next matchup we'll be looking at, we'll be moving over to the NL. We'll have at 1:05 p.m., we have the 1-4 Colorado Rockies versus the 4-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Last night, these two teams face off. The Phillies won that one 5-1. They were pretty heavy favorites. They were 2.5 run favorites last night. We said that they would cover it, but we went with the under. That's exactly what happened. Zach Wheeler was dealing yesterday. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. They won a dominating game, and they did that without Bryce Harper. Very talented team. A lot of people have the Phillies competing in the NL East and potentially as one of those teams who could compete for the World Series or potentially even make the World Series. When you look at this lineup 1 through 9, very talented, a lot of pop, and they also have the starting rotation to back it up. Right now, they're going to be facing off versus the Rockies. The Rockies are struggling to score some runs. Right now, they have a 37.9% chance to win this one. Philadelphia, 62.1% chance to win this game. Phillies, 1.5 run favorites. The over in here is 9.5. Vegas, again, sees a lot of runs being scored in this game. Kind of a quiet game last night. Obviously, they are due to potentially have a shoot-'em-out game. Right now, Colorado, they're averaging 2.3 runs a game, hitting 211. The team ERA 4.36. And on the other side, Philly, 6.3 runs per game, hitting 289. The ERA 3.75. Very balanced team, very talented team. The pitching matchup we're going to have for the Rockies, they are going with Santazella as the starting pitcher. If you haven't heard his name, it's not surprising. He's actually only started 6 games over the last 3 seasons. He's been injured. He's been in the bullpen. He was not a bad starting pitcher when he was a starting pitcher about 4 to 8 years ago, but he hasn't been on the mound very much starting out these games. It's going to be a lot to ask from his arm. This is going to be a bullpen game for the Colorado Rockies, which really doesn't spell well for them because they don't honestly have the best bullpen. And for the Phillies, they're going to be going with Taijuan Walker as their starting pitcher. Very consistent pitcher. He's been pitching in the major leagues for a while. He's been pitching in the NL for a while, especially the NL East. He's going to give you a very consistent start for his career. He's a 3.9 ERA guy. He won 15 games last season, and he has that batting order that can back him up and bring some balance there. We're going to go with Philly winning this one. We're going to go with them covering the spread. That over-under is a tough one because it's a pretty high over-under, but I'm going to go with them covering it. And then at 4:10 p.m., we're going to have the 2-4 Houston Astros visiting the 2-4 Minnesota Twins. Both these teams with identical records. This is really a pick'em game. This is practically a 50-50 matchup. I could honestly see this one falling either way. Right now, Houston on the road, 45.2% chance to win this game. And Minnesota with a 54.8% chance to win this game. Right now, the Twins at home, they are going to be the favorites, 1.5 run favorites. The over in here is 7.5. Practically a 50-50 split down the middle. Houston, they are plus 105. Minnesota is minus 125. Houston right now struggling to score some runs. They had Valdez go for them yesterday, and they lost that one. He actually gave up a couple more runs than he usually does. Usually, very solid, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Houston, they're only averaging 2 runs a game, hitting 178. Awful numbers from the batting side, and the team ERA 3.33. They're getting good pitching, but they're not getting production from their hitters yet. Things will come. Season is still very early, but you want to make sure to get those bats going so that you can build some momentum. And for the Twins, they have a lineup. When you look at it top to bottom, this lineup actually has a lot of promise. They just have to get everyone on the same page at the same time. Right now, Minnesota, they're averaging 2.8 runs per game. They are hitting 174, an awful team ERA, 6.37, one of the worst you're going to see in the major leagues. But it's only been 1 week. That number is obviously going to come down. But the interesting point here, both teams are struggling to hit currently, so you basically have to build this game off of the promise. When you see the potential for both these batting orders, who do you think is going to maximize it first? For the starting pitching, you have Houston going with Hunter Brown, the young pitcher, career 4.04 ERA guy, won 11 games last season. He went 11-9. And on the other side, you have Joe Ryan going for the Twins, career 3.9 guy. Both pitchers are solid pitchers. Both pitchers has very similar statistics. You usually get a similar performance out of them. Hunter Brown, he has a 3 ERA right now. Joe Ryan had a very good first game, a 1.8 ERA. He pitched 5 innings, and he had 5 strikeouts. I could see this game going either way. Very difficult game to call here. Both of these teams need this win in their division. I'm going to go with the Twins winning this one at home. I'm going to go with them covering the spread, and I'm also going to just slightly go with the over here. And this next matchup should honestly be a very fun one. At 7:05 p.m., we have the 4-2 Arizona Diamondbacks. They have a lot of momentum behind them right now, visiting the 3-2 New York Yankees, who are on a 2-game losing streak right now. 2 games they could have won. They lost this one last night, 4-3 to the Diamondbacks. They lost the one previous, 7-5 to the Diamondbacks. The Yankees, you got to get that bullpen under control. You have to get the bats going in the later innings. Obviously, they have one of the best offenses in baseball so far this season, but the Diamondbacks can practically match you production for production on the offensive side. Right now, the Yankees at home, 53.2% chance to win this game, and Arizona 46.8%. Yankees are the Vegas favorites, 1.5 run favorites. Massive over-under here, 9.5, but this is 2 of the best offenses in baseball so far. Right now, the Yankees are minus 125, and Arizona, they are plus 105. Arizona, when you're looking at the team stats, they're averaging 6.8 runs a game. They're hitting .298, giving up 4.8 runs a game. And on the other side, the Yankees, they're averaging 10.3 runs a game. 10.3 runs per game. That's because of the home run barrage that they've basically been going on since the season started. They're also hitting .289, and they're giving up 4.25 runs per game. Right now, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, they're going to be going with Kelly as the starting pitcher. Kelly, he's about 33 years old. He's been pitching for a while. He's a veteran. He's also going up against the older veteran, Carlos Carrasco, 38 years old. This scares, honestly, the crap out of me for the New York Yankees. Yankees, one of the best starting rotations in baseball. I do have some questions about their overall lineup over the course of 162 games. So far, though, they've had no issues scoring points. They've had no issues getting home runs. They've been consistent to start the season first week, but over the course of a 162-game schedule, I do have my question marks about that batting order outside of Aaron Judge. Right now, Carrasco, he's going to have a really good game. His last couple seasons, his ERA's been ballooning up to about 5 to 5.5. So he's going to have to keep that down for the Yankees to have a chance at shutting down the Arizona Diamondbacks batting order. They've been really hot the last few games. They've been really hot in the games they've been playing the Yankees. Right now, I'm actually going to go with the upset call here. I have Arizona winning this one. I'm going to go with the plus 1.5, and I'm also going to go with the over. I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored in this matchup. And then moving to the NL on NL at 7:40 p.m., our final game. We're going to have the 2-4 Cincinnati Reds coming off of a 1-0 loss yesterday versus the Rangers, versus the 2-4 Milwaukee Brewers coming off of a win yesterday. Right now, the Brewers are going to be at home. They have a 46.3% chance to win this game. It's actually going to be the Reds on the road who are the favorites. 53.7% chance to win this game. They are 1.5 run favorites. The over in here is 7.5. When you look at Cincinnati, this is a team, again, that a lot of people have as a potential underdog to make some noise in the NL and potentially be competing for one of those wild card spots. They're averaging 4 runs a game so far. They're hitting .218. The team ERA, very, very good. 2.83 runs per game. And for Milwaukee, they're averaging 3.8 runs per game, hitting .223. A very bad ERA, 7.81. But obviously, it should be getting a lot better over the course of the season. Reds are the favorite here. Looking at the pitching matchup for the Reds, they're going to be going with Nick Lodolo. He's a career 4.44 ERA guy. Very good first start, though. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. And for the Brewers, they're going to be going with Nestor Cortes, who, let's call it what it is, his game today cannot be any worse than his very first game. His ERA right now, 36. 36. He gave up, 5 or 6 home runs to the Yankees that very first game. He got torched. They only lasted 2 innings and gave up 18 runs or whatever he gave up. He got completely shellacked. That's not going to happen again. He might stink, but he's not going to stink that bad. Nestor Cortes, when you look at his career, very good career, but he's not the pitcher he was 3 to 4 years ago with the New York Yankees, but he just has to not be a 36 ERA guy. That's like anyone off the street pitching. Right now, you have a experienced veteran versus a younger starter, but I'm going to go a little bit out on a ledge here. I'm going to go with Nestor Cortes having a little bit better of a game and not necessarily getting shelled. I have the Brewers winning this one. So I'm going to go with the plus 1.5, and I'm going to go with the over. Guys, this is a quick breakdown, our predictions and picks for all of our Thursday, April 3rd games. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.